Hello ladies and gents, in this video I'm going to show you how to make a 3D keychain using Onshape, and this is something you could print out using a 3D printer. We're going to be using a few different tools. We're going to be using the Extrude tool, the text tool, the hole tool, the transform tool and the three-pointed arc tool, and we're going to make a couple of variations of this keychain. So let's get started by creating a sketch. So go to the sketch button in the top left hand side of the screen, click that, and then click on the front plane. And then you can either click on the front plane on the view cube, or you can just press N on your keyboard to look at that front plane head on. And now let's draw the shape of our keychain. So let's keep it simple and just create a rectangle. So go to the rectangle tool and choose center point rectangle. Then click on the center point of your plane and just create a rectangle. Any size is fine because we're going to change it with the dimension tool in a second. When you've got a rectangle, click to apply that, and then at the top of the screen, go to dimension, click that, go to the edge of your rectangle, click that once, and then move the mouse cursor outwards. Click to apply that, and in the box that appears, change the number, change the size. So we're going to put 10 centimeters there, and then press enter. And then do the same thing for the other side of your rectangle. Click on it once, move the mouse cursor outward, and we're going to type 2.5 centimeters there, and then press enter. Okay, so that's the shape of our keychain. What we need to do now is put a hole in it so that we can actually attach a chain to it, or a piece of string or something like that if we were to 3D print this. So to do that, go to the circle tool and choose the center point circle. Then go to the central dividing guideline on your front plane. You can see where I've got my mouse cursor now. Click that, move the mouse cursor outward and create a circle. Now that circle's really big, so we're going to use the dimension tool to change the size of that. So go back to your dimension tool, click on the edge of your circle, move your mouse cursor inward until the measurement appears, click again, and then type the size that you need. So let's use 6 millimeters. 6 millimeters in that box. There we go. When you've typed that, press the enter key, and you'll see that the circle has changed size to something much smaller. All right, so now let's just personalize this keychain by adding some text to it. To do that, we're going to use the text tool. If you look towards the top of the screen, you can see there's a large A. That's your text tool there. Click on it, and then go to your rectangle, and towards the top corner, click and drag a box, and this is where our text is going to go. Once you've done that, you'll see that the text options menu appears, and the first thing you see under the word text is the name of the font that's being used. So you can change the font to what's available here, but first let's just type something here. So I'm just going to type the word design, and you can see this grayed out area. This gives you a preview of what the text looks like. So I could change that to this Roboto one here. I'll try that. And the font changes. If I change it to another one, Oswald, it changes again. But I'll stick with the one I had selected earlier, that Didact Gothic. So if you're happy with the way that looks, click the green check mark and your text appears. Now we have a problem. You can see that the G extends below the rectangle, so the whole of the text doesn't fit on the rectangle. So we need to change the size of that. To do that, we're going to use the transform tool. The transform tool can be found at the top of your screen. What you'll see is 4 squares grouped together. That's the linear pattern tool. And next to it, there is a little arrow. If you click that arrow, in that tool slot, you have 3 tools to choose from: linear pattern, circular, or transform. Click the transform tool, and then go to the edge of your text. So you see there's a dotted line around it. Double click that, and the transform options appear. So the top arrow, that allows you to move the text vertically. The side arrow, the horizontal arrow, that allows you to move it horizontally. And the diagonal arrow, that allows you to change the size of the text box, and with it the size of the text. So if you click that, you can make it bigger, or you can type in the box, but the blue guideline shows you how much bigger the text will be, and I need to make that much smaller, and I don't know exactly how much smaller, so I don't know what number to type in there. So I'm just going to do it by sight. I'm going to make it a bit smaller, like that. So there's that blue guideline. And then finally, if I wanted to change the orientation, this circle with the line running through it, we can click on that and change the orientation, but I just want to keep it horizontal. So when you've done that, move the mouse cursor into a clear bit of space, and you can see that icon of a mouse appears, and the left mouse button has a green check mark on it. If you click that, double click it, it changes the size of your text to what you changed it to, and now you can just highlight the edge of that text box and move it and reposition it on your keychain until the G actually does stay on the rectangle. All right, so that's the sketch completed. So click the green check mark, and now all we need to do is make this 3D. So to do that, click on the Extrude tool, and then click on the rectangle itself. And if we just rotate it a little bit, double click that, or click it once, there we go. And we've got an extrusion, but it's way too big at the minute. So what we're going to do is change this default depth of 2.5 centimeters to 3 millimeters, and then press enter. All right, so now you can see we've got the text has been kind of cut out, if you will, along with that hole. And I can just click on the check mark to apply that extrusion, and that's what the keychain will look like. But you can see that we're missing because we've just extruded the face of the rectangle and not the text, we're missing the center of the D and the center of the G and the little part of the E at the top. So to actually make those visible, what we could do is we could try a slightly different design. So press the N key on your keyboard or the front of the view cube to look at that head on, and we're going to create another sketch. So click on the sketch button and choose the front plane again. And this time we're going to go through the same steps. We're going to create a rectangle, so a center point rectangle, and I'll make it just above the previous one. And we can use the same dimensions. So just like before, go to the dimension tool, click on the edge, move it outwards, click again, and then type 10 centimeters. Same 2.5, so move that outwards. That's going to be 2.5 centimeters. There we go. And this time we're going to give this a rounded end. So if you go to the three-pointed arc, so where you've got the rectangle and the circle tool, you've got this arc tool. You've got different kinds of arc, but we're going to make a three-pointed one. So click that tool, and then click the corner of your rectangle, and then go down to the next one and click again on the other corner and move that outwards, and it will kind of snap into place when it's a perfect semicircle. Click again. And then click on the other end, click the corner, click the other corner, move the mouse cursor out. You can see as you move it further away, that arc gets bigger and smaller. But when it's a perfect semicircle, it just kind of snaps into place. And then click to apply that. Now we're not going to put anything on this right now. What I can do here is just click the green check mark, and now we're going to drag a box around all of this sketch, and then we're going to click on the extrude button. So once you've clicked that, you can see we've got an extrusion here. Again, as usual, default depth of 2.5, and we're going to change that to 3 millimeters, and then press enter. So it's the same as before. And now if I just go back around to the front here, now we can put some text on top of this solid piece. So click on the green check mark to apply that extrusion. Click on the front of the view cube, or just press N on your keyboard. So we're viewing that head on again. And now go to the sketch button, and this time rather than choose one of the planes, we're going to choose the face of this new shape that we've created. So click that, and now we can go to the text tool and draw a rectangle just like before, and we're going to type something in there. So I'm going to type the word Onshape, and I'll change the font this time to something else. So I'll go down to Roboto. There we go. And then click the green check mark to apply that. And I don't need to use the transform tool because this all fits on. So all I need to do now is extrude this new piece that I've just created. So click on the green check mark, and all you need to do now is just rotate it so you can actually see the text clearly. Click on the extrude tool, and then click on the text itself so it's highlighted. Click once and it's extruded. So now it's, again, that default size of 2.5, that's way too big. So let's make it 2 millimeters and press the enter key, and then click on the check mark, and now we've got the word Onshape on our keychain. But I forgot to put the hole here. So how are we going to add the hole now if we didn't do it when we created the sketch? Well, instead of doing it the way we did with the first keychain, we're going to use the hole tool. So again, go to the sketch button, click on the face of your keychain, and now go to the point tool. So click the point tool and place a point on your keychain. So you can see it kind of snaps to the letters, and then the guiding line shows it's kind of following on from that E, but you can put the point anywhere. Click to place the hole, and you'll see that dot appears. Once you've done that, click the green check mark, and then go to the hole tool. So it looks like a washing machine. It's at the top of the screen. It's a cube with a hole in it. So click on the hole tool, and all you need to do then is choose by clicking the point where you want the hole to go. So you have to draw the point first. So in the menu here, it says sketch points to place holes. Well, we've already sketched the point, so we just click it once. There we go. And now the hole has appeared. So we're going to ignore the hole type and the size and the fastener fit, and we're just going to change the diameter of this hole. So before we use 6 millimeters, so we'll use 6 millimeters again and press enter. And it's just changed ever so slightly. And for the termination point, make sure that you've set it to through all, because blind only drills through a certain amount of the material, and you have to tell it how deep to drill. So just go straight to through all, and then if we just rotate that, you can see the hole has gone all the way through our keychain. And then when you're happy with that, just click the green check mark. There we go. So that's it. We've got two different shaped keychains, and all that's left to do now is change the color of the 3D model. So to do that, right click, go to edit appearance for part 1, choose a color. So I'll make this kind of like a reddy color, and then click on the green check mark, right click on the other keychain, go to edit appearance for part 1 here, and change the color. So let's make this kind of like a bluish color. There we go, or a teal color, or green, or whatever you want to call it. Click the green check mark to apply that, and there we go. We've got two keychains ready for 3D printing, and you could add your name or anything else to the keychain design. Keychain 1, that's part 1. Keychain 2, that's called part 2. And if you want to make any changes to this, you could just go back. So if I wanted to change the shape or the size of the hole that we just put in the second keychain, I can click on this and go in and make edits. So let's say I need that to be bigger. So I want it to be 8 millimeters, and I can make it larger. And you can go in and you can change these different options by clicking on them, double clicking them, and going in and making the changes if you want to. And if you don't, you can exit those by clicking on the red check mark. There we go. So that's it. Two simple keychains that would be suitable for 3D printing. Give that a go and make your own personalized design.